Petri dish, the Petri dish, the Petri dish.
This is
The Petri dish, the Petri dish, the Petri dish. This is the Petri dish. There's something growing in here, and it's fear for having your eyes sliced open.
fucking terrifying.
Me and Nick were just talking about the ideas of LASIK, and all the worst parts are probably they're about as bad as you think. Like, you have to sit there and stare at a needle as it enters your eye because you can't look away because it's going in your eye to give you the eye drugs that you need so that you don't feel the cornea suction machine that then lasers your cornea off.
Yeah, well, that sounds absolutely fucking terrifying.
Yeah, and then what happened with me, and mine was not a botched procedure. Mine was very well done, but still, the suction cup didn't go all the way on my left eye because of my astigmatism. So it missed. It's supposed to leave everything but like the 6 o'clock flap on your cornea so they can flap it up and do the laser shits inside and put it back. It missed like 11 o'clock, like almost the exact opposite side. So the doctor got in there with a little probe right over my eye and just kept scraping my cornea a little bit. And I just had to hold, like, I had to watch because it was on my eye. I can't close my eye because it's on it. And then I knew he did it successfully when I couldn't see. Like, he popped it off and it was like I had just lost my glasses, except instead I had lost my cornea because he had successfully
just hanging by a thread.
Yeah, and then
yeah, all that sounds like a goddamn torture movie. It's like a scene out of Saw or something. It's just, it sounds absolutely terrifying. And I just have a thing about things touching my eyes anyway. That's why I'm kind of glad I always wear glasses, because I kind of have a little level of protection there nonstop. But I do want to get LASIK and all that just to not have to fuck around with my glasses and all that. But it sounds like the worst thing in the entire world that I want to get done to myself.
Getting used to the wind hitting my eyes was a big thing. Because I just wasn't used to it. Being able to wear sunglasses whenever I want, that's been fucking dank. But really, what really helps is, honestly, you get some meditation, you get some good feelings, but then they also give you a Valium and let you sit for 30 minutes so that it really kicks in.
Yeah, like, I know they're going to drug me up and everything, so I'm not going to care that much, but I'm still like...
Yeah, leading up to it is bad, but then, like... At least for me, I walked in there, and they're like, here's your Valium, here's the little sippy cup of water, you just hang out here for about 30 minutes, we'll come back and check on you. They came and checked on me, and they were like, you ready to go? And I was like, ha, yeah. I was like, let's fucking cut my eyes open, dude. This is dank.
And then afterwards, you just kind of get more drugs and get to hang out for a few days.
Yeah. At least for me, I got to take... a good amount of time off of work because my work is site-based because I have to look at a computer. So I was like, I'm going to need at least 2 days off. And then I was like, and then the next week, I'll just be dripping this milky eye drop shit into my eyes to make sure I don't get, like, eye infections. But yeah, I was like, every once in a while, I might just not be here because my eyes don't want to be open. They're like, cool. Yeah, do it. So yeah, get LASIK. It's... Like,
someday.
Anyone that I know that's terrified of all the things, you should be. It's scary. But, like, for the amount of things that can go wrong, what if you could see?
Yeah, what if you don't have to fuck around with glasses and all that shit anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, the most frustrating thing is I usually put my glasses in 2 or 3 spots, in the exact same spots. When I don't put them in those spots and I have to find my glasses, it's a fucking ordeal. Like, I just have to search throughout my entire fucking room, and it's terrible. And if they're not in my room, if they're somewhere out here in the wild of the house, then
you're all fucked.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything else that day. I'm just going to wait for my glasses to come back and find me.
It was 2 things that did it for me. One was I was on my last pair of glasses after having, like, the same 2 pairs for, like, 4 years because I didn't have insurance. So I didn't want to, like, get more. But then I finally had insurance. So that was cool. But then I had broken that last pair, and I was like, fuck, do I go in to get more? Do I just tape these ones back together until I can get something done? And then I, on YouTube, there's this YouTube channel called How to Make Everything. And it's a guy who says, this is something that I'll try to make from scratch. And one of the things was glasses. So he went out, created his own glass. Like, he got all the materials, the flux and the silica and the like correct amount of sand. Hi, Butters, you're just gonna jump on the fucking table? You know you're not supposed to be up here, right? Goddamn cats. Oh, shit.
Ruining everything.
All right, cool. We're back. So.
Cat would never do that.
Right? Fucking indoor cats all over everyone's shit.
Thundercat Ho. I saw Thundercat Ho this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, whenever I go out for my walk in the morning, she's just hanging out there. I give her a few pets and go on my way. And when I come back, she's waiting for me again. Give her a few little pets, and then she's doing whatever she does.
Poor sad outdoor cat. Glasses. That's right. So I watched a guy make glasses from scratch. Like, literally made the glass, and then he ground the glass, and he had like lasers set up to go through the lenses so he could match the refraction to what he knows is his prescription. And then he had to make wooden frames because he had not yet unlocked metallurgy from scratch, like in his skill tree. So he made wooden frames, and when he got it all together, his glass wasn't pure enough for him to see through like at all.
They're just all foggy and
just foggy green glass in really chunky wooden frames. And I was like, if this was the apocalypse, I couldn't even hope to get that good at what that guy did, and he still failed. He had all the tools possible. He did all the research. He even had another glass maker make good glass for him, so he ground those himself and put them into frames, and they were decent, but still not like on board, and so he failed at making glass himself. He was successful at kind of putting glasses together himself with, fresh glass, but then also they weren't the best because he had to grind them himself. So I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that if the apocalypse happens. So I was like, I could probably take a debt hit. It was only like, what is it, like $120 a month is what ended up being my loan that I got. And I got like expensive LASIK because I found the place with the least amount of negative reviews on Google reviews.
It's kind of a thing that you want to splurge on.
Yeah. So I was like, I refused to go budget. I went budget on a dentist once, and they tried to drug me and take my wisdom teeth out without anything else.
Yeah.
And I was like, no thanks. I'm done doing budget shit. So like, I knew it was a great place because it was full of old people. And I was like, because these are the people that can afford the nice eye doctor. I was like, this is perfect. I'm dying. That was for everyone. Hoping everyone liked me coughing directly in their ears. Welcome to the show, guys. And Nick Josten's here.
Hi.
Oh, boy. Nick, you've been busy.
Yeah.
Everyone still thinks you're dead, but that's just because you aren't showing up to the open mics that aren't happening.
Do they really?
They know you're alive because you're still on the internet.
Yeah, still
posting about the things you've been doing.
Social media and all that.
People are still confused somehow. Sometimes I think that people think that I murdered you and am now posting to your social media, just like Weekend at Bernie's-ing your body. Like, here's a bunch of horse head masks with him at a table.
I haven't posted about those on social media.
Shit.
That's kind of still a big secret. It's not that big of a secret.
Guys, it's a secret.
Yeah, don't listen to that previous part.
Yeah, don't listen to that part, but also tell us about stuff you're working on that has nothing to do with the things I mentioned, because you've got a couple different things going on.
Yeah. I was in a web series, a six-part web series. It was kind of my first time being a lead actor in something on film, and it was cool and terrifying because like everybody else has... Like, that's what they do for a living. Like, the camera guy, he makes his living being a camera guy. And the lead actress, like, she makes her living as an actress and model. And there's, like, all the people on there, like, they're all professionals. And I walk on there, like, this is technically my first film. Like, I've been an extra in a couple of things. But yeah, this is like my first speaking part on film, and
top of the call sheet.
Yeah, well, second on the call sheet. The one with actual credits got
top half of the call sheet.
I was number 2, which was still pretty exciting. I got the part because I was an extra in another film that was shot locally. I was dressed up as a cowboy, and I was taking my son, who's dressed up as a shark, trick or treating, and I just had to walk across the camera, and that was it. And the camera guy who was working on that saw me. He's like, "Yeah, that's a fat guy who can break into people's houses and kill the occupants, and still seem likable." So he called me in for an audition, and At first I had to send in the tape because I couldn't make the audition. Then he's like, yeah, we really like the tape. Come in and audition. Like, I got to get off of work. But all right, so I got I think I took a 2.5, 3 hour lunch break that day.
Hey, there you go.
I thought they were going to have me read with other people. But then, they just knew I had work that day, so they got me in and out of there in like 15 minutes. So I just had a really long lunch break that day. And
you just went and fucked off for a little bit?
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. Because they don't know what you're doing. You're just I'm gone.
Yeah, I told them, I have this audition. Can I take like a 3 hour lunch break? Because I think they want me to read with other people and the other actors and things, and it's for the lead part. And I'll go. Like, I hate my job, but they are willing to work with me on that. I hate my job for what I have to do, but like the people I work with are all nice and the company's pretty good and everything. It's just I'm sick and tired of my fucking job. The camera guy who hired me and was the director of photography and all that, at the end of the filming, he's like, we need to get you the fuck out of your job.
Yeah,
like, I agree with you. I'm not trying to stay there, but yeah, like he and the writer director, they all have projects coming up and they want to work with me on those. I just got a message from the writer director this morning that she has some things that she wants me to audition for. But I got this really cool part in a really cool show. It's called No Virtue. I play Vern, who is on the lam with Natasha, who is his pregnant girlfriend. And we've just kind of been moving from city to city, breaking into houses, killing the occupants, robbing them, and then we live off of that, and we kind of live in the houses for a little bit and then move on to the next place. And we've just kind of been traveling around for that, doing that for about 5-6 months. And then the show opens up when we break into this one house and we discover that the occupants are drug dealers who are dealing cocaine.
Shit.
So we just kind of take over their cocaine ring, and fun insanity ensues from there.
Become kingpins.
It was just seven. It was summer camp. Like, I got to take like 10 days off of work. It was like 8 days, and like we had a pre-production thing and all that. It was like 7 days of actual filming and just like 12-hour days. Tired as fuck at the end of them. The last night, it was a night shoot from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And my costume was a Hawaiian shirt. I was just standing out in the middle of the desert. It's windy as fuck, just freezing my ass off. And I was having the goddamn time of my life. I would do that every single fucking night if I didn't have to take another question about how to return something when that information is on the goddamn website. If you just fucking read it. And it was just, the whole cast and the crew was amazing. Everybody was so much fun to work with. It just felt like summer camp. It was just at the end of it, the 7 days of filming, it felt like a little family, and it was the most fun I've had in my entire life. And I can't wait to get back to doing something like that again. They're already talking about a second season for that'll probably be filmed around the same time next year. And the writer-director has upcoming projects that she wants me to work with her on, and the camera guy has stuff that he wants me to work with him on. And one of the actors is opening up a voiceover studio in town, nice. And he wants me to do stuff with him there. So just like doing this one project, I've gotten all these contacts and all this upcoming work and everything. And it's only been 3 weeks since we wrapped, and it still feels like it was yesterday, and at the same time, like it was a million years ago. And with some of the people that I met on there, I'm filming my first short film that I wrote and directed, and I'm also acting in it. So we're filming that this Friday, July 3rd, and I have no idea when it's actually going to come out. I've been doing a lot more writing. Reno Little Theater is doing this project where they kind of wanted to highlight like the work that actors and directors put into interpreting a script and how different it can be based on who you hire to be a writer or a director or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they're taking one script and they're having 2 or 3 different groups of actors and directors interpret it, and they're going to have it up on their YouTube channel, Ghostlight TV, on July 25th. And I wrote a little 10-minute play for that they're going to do called Intervention in the Time of COVID-19, where they asked me to come up with a blurb. I think it said like Bob's ex has to battle dysfunctional family dynamics and technology to save the man she once loved. So it's an intervention that takes place over a Zoom call. And it's just a bunch of wackiness ensues. And see that or watch that on see that
on July
25th on Ghostlight TV on YouTube. It's free, and you'll get to see it performed by 2 or 3 different groups of actors. I wrote this other script that we're going to be filming this Friday and working on a bunch of other writing.
Hell yeah.
So I've been keeping... Yeah, and right now I think it's just a good time to do something more film-based, because a lot of the live shit that I like to do, you can't really do, and just doing it over Zoom hasn't...
It's not the same.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel the same, and it's going to be a long time before I feel comfortable doing live shows again.
Yeah.
Like, at least not until there's a vaccine or whatever, and that's going to be earliest probably January, and I'm guessing probably not until next summer.
And it's going to be like $4,000.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to give that shit out for free, especially if Trump gets reelected. They're going to try to jack up. Even if Biden gets reelected, it's going to
be thousands of dollars no matter what, because no matter who's president, they're not going to step on any of the toes of any pharmaceutical company.
Big pharma and all that, which, it really sucks. Like, I haven't been doing comedy regularly since, like, last September, I think. I think that's when I got cast for a play, and I've just kind of, I don't know, I was getting a little sick and run down and world weary with doing comedy. It wasn't as fun as it used to be, and I didn't want to get 100% sick of it. So I wanted to work on some other creative projects, and like I did acting throughout high school and college, so it was kind of nice to get back to trying to do that again. And I just really like the community atmosphere of it, and just the different challenge of, interpreting a script and all that, and creating a new character. It's like, I like creating characters anyway, with all the stupid sketch characters and everything that I did.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of nice to be doing something more serious. And that was one thing I was concerned about with doing the web series. Like, it's a very serious show. Like, I'm still kind of the comedy relief in it in a lot of ways.
But it's still like serious tone through most of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just, like, halfway through it, I asked the director of photography, like, I asked him how this one scene looked, and he's like, oh, I kind of wish I did these other angles and kind of tried some other things. Like, what did you think about it? Like, I honestly, I don't know. Like,
you're like, this is the first thing I've been in that I have watched and had to critique like this.
I told him that for the past 5-6 years, all I've been doing is comedy. So I don't know if what I'm doing is coming across as sincere or not. They're like, no, this is great. Like, we think you're doing a wonderful, amazing job. And like, me and the director talk every night that we feel lucky that with the cast that we found. You're just doing a bang up job. I even got him to cry at one point. I got the camera guy to cry. I don't know how it's actually going to come across on film or not, but actually in the room, I got a guy to cry. So yeah, that's just been a weird fucking transition, going from, like, the first time I read the script, I found all the spots that I could play for laughs. And when we actually went through it, like, no, you need to kind of play this a little more somber. Like, fuck, I don't know how to do that.
Oh, shit, I can't play anything for laughs.
There were a lot of spots that I could play for laughs.
Kind of like improv a couple lines too, right?
Yeah, the director had me and the lead actress improv some scenes. Nice. Like, she wrote it. We do it the way she wrote it a couple of times, and then she's like, "All right, now just improvise. Just kind of do whatever you feel like." And then she said that she's going to use those scenes, the ones that we improvised with, for the final cut. And yeah, you got to do a lot of improv on it.
Hell yeah.
It was also, the writer is from Finland. Like, she has really, really good English, but
it's all very proper when it comes down to it.
Yeah, it's not always like the most 100% natural, but so yeah, she just kind of wanted to clean it up a little bit and make it more natural. And yeah, that's what I've been doing. More acting stuff. I'm still alive, not just kind of working on other things, trying to do more in the film world, because we can just have really small crews and just a few actors on set and kind of maintain COVID protocol and all that. And like on set, they had someone take your temperature as soon as you got on set, and if you weren't in a scene, you're supposed to have a face mask on. And like in the trailer, you can only have, I think, 2 or 3 people at a time. There was hand sanitizer everywhere, and so yeah, I'm trying to do that with the short film thing that I'm doing on Friday. One of the craziest days on set, I had, like, there was one morning where I wasn't in the scene that they were filming in the morning, so I just kind of hung out under a tree and played with the director's dogs the entire morning, and then I had to spend 2 hours choking a guy.
So it's like, yeah, this nice calm morning. I'm assuming sunshine and fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, let's get to choking.
Yeah, and during the lunch break, that's when I was talking to the director. I'm like, I'm not sure how well I'm doing. He's like, oh, you're doing great. And that was also the scene where I got him to cry. It was like after I was choking somebody for 2 hours.
Hell yeah.
From like 100 different angles. And yeah, it was fucking intense. It was an intense afternoon. And yeah, just the entire 7 days was filled with shit like that. Like just kind of like joking around with the crew and everything like that. And then like, okay, now you have to cry for an hour.
Like you have to cry. You have to murder somebody. And it was like, all right, now back to being a human.
To go dig another grave. They had some graves, some holes already dug. But I thought it should be a little bit bigger. And I wanted to get some more loose dirt for when I'm kind of tossing it out of the hole. So I spent like, I think 45 minutes or an hour out there, like while they're getting the cameras and the lights and everything set up, digging a grave, and gave myself a huge fucking blister.
Yeah.
And then, it was just a big fucking blister for the rest of the night. And then the next day, I also had to dig another grave.
Shit.
They warned me, like, okay, don't actually dig this grave. If you want it bigger, we're going to get a PA to come over, to get a production assistant to come over and dig it for you. I'm like, no, it'll be fine. I'm just going to like poke around a little bit. I started digging a grave again and popped the blister, and it was all just like gross and everything. And the last night, one of the like big burly PAs gave me a big handshake right on my fucking open wound. So that was fun. And yeah, the PAs were a weird thing, having.
You had assistants?
Yeah, like having
people
production
making you tea.
Yeah, like I'm so used to like having to do everything myself. Like, the comedy open mics and everything, like having to set up absolutely everything myself. So like if I needed something, I'm just gonna go and get something. But they're like, no, like we have to get the coffee for you because they might need you to do a scene. Like they're working on something right now, but they might need you in like 10 seconds.
Just like framing or something too. Yeah,
they're gonna need you, so you have to stay here in case they need you. So we're gonna get you coffee. Like I don't feel 100% comfortable with that, but okay.
Like it's my job. Give me something.
Yeah, that was kind of like, yeah, we need to do something. Otherwise, we're just here being bored. Like the night during the film shoot, during the night shoot, I had my big warm jacket and everything. So as soon as they called cut, someone would run over with a jacket, and when they were ready for action, they would run over and take my jacket again. Like this,
you had a fucking butler.
Yeah, and I felt so fucking weird about it, but they were so nice about it, and it was just kind of like they were fun to chat with and everything. So it was just kind of like a good buddy wanting to help you out.
If you could, would you like set up a reality show for your life specifically so you could have like a PA all the time? Like just have like a Robin Big situation. I don't know if you ever watched that show, but it was fucking fantastic. And really it's just like okay, every day you just find a new scenario of how to hang out and or do something, and then you just have camera people follow you around, and then PAs get you coffee. That's the kind of life I want.
No, like I don't know if I would ever get used to it. I felt uncomfortable with it. Just that maybe eventually I'd get used to it. But no, honestly, like I don't think I like it too much. I like just having them to hang out with. Like it was a lot of fun. Like talking to the sound guys and everything. Like the one sound guy, Steve, had the best fucking stories. Like he was, I think I told you about how he was the pool boy at the Mustang Ranch in college. That was like his college job, was going in and cleaning the pools and the spas and all that.
Which fucking gross. Like I hope he got hazard pay, because that is.
Yeah, he said things get kind of gross, and he walked into some weird situations every now and then. Like one time, I guess he went in to clean one of the jacuzzis. Then he had to go out to like reset some pump or something like that. And when he came back in, there were just people fucking in there.
Yes.
He's like but they also like the madame and all the hookers like just really liked messing with him, because he's just like this skinny gay college kid. And like they just like he'd have to go early in the morning before he went to class, so they'd make him sit there and have breakfast with him.
Yo.
And then he would go to class, and like all his classmates would want to know like what happened at the Mustang Ranch. It's just
very nice breakfast.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
They made eggs Benedict. It's delicious. And just
dude,
and like the boom operator Nick, just kind of like the boom would be hanging over my head, and I just kind of like have little private conversations with him directly into the boom. I kept forgetting I had a fucking mic on, like constantly. Like one of the actors said something about porns having trailers, or they call them coming attractions. And then I did a mock movie trailer, like, in a world filled with huge cocks, one pizza delivery man delivers his hot Italian sausage. And then I just hear the director cackling.
Because they can monitor fucking everything.
They hear fucking everything. I'm like, oh shit, MJ, did you hear that? And she just, yeah. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, she thought it was hilarious. But like, yeah, I keep forgetting I have a mic on.
Like now you can kind of understand Christian Bale yelling at people and then just being like, oh fuck, I forgot cameras were going. Yeah. It's like, oh, he's tired. He's tired and forgot cameras were going before he started bullying the production people.
And it's not like they're always running. They're not always recording. So like if they're gonna reset and take another shoot, take another shot or whatever, then they'll just continue rolling. But most of the time they just have it on and they're just listening. So it's not like they're recording everything. They told me a couple of times that they kind of wish that they were recording things, because just for like outtakes and everything. Because I got a little wacky sometimes on set.
It's easy to get delirious on the job. I do it frequently.
Yeah, especially when you're doing it for like 12 hours. We always had like the 10 to 12 hour sillies. Like at the end of the night, just everybody was getting really silly and
real
weird.
Punchy.
Like nobody was like angry or upset. It was just like just being wacky. Just
things get loose.
Just everyone was tired, so we were getting silly. And fuck, I miss it so much. It was so sad having to log back into work that Tuesday.
After that week.
Just having so much fucking fun, then like going right back into work. I'm like, fuck. Andrew was right. I need to get the fuck out of here.
That's how I felt after I got out of the recording studio the last time, because I spent like the weekend and then like an extra day, and I just had so much fun. Like every morning I would go get Dutch Bros. We would just get over caffeinated and be fucking around. And every once in a while I'd like yell into a microphone or play a guitar part differently. But there was just so much. There was just something nice about creating something with other people. And, like maybe no one ever sees this thing you're doing. Maybe it is amazing. But right now you're just worried about like putting your head in the right space to make this correctly, no matter what it's going to end up being. And you kind of just form that bond with those people in that moment. Like, we're making a thing right now. This is how it happens for everyone.
That group creative dynamic, just like whatever you're creating and you're doing it with a bunch of people, is just, it's bonding and it's fun and it's just, it's the best fucking feeling in the world. And, it's really different from comedy too. I'm just like, I enjoyed the comics that I've been working with, but doing something like making a film or doing a theater production, it is kind of an entirely different animal and bonding experience and everything like that, because you're all working together to create the same project. And with comedy, there's camaraderie, but you're all kind of more lone wolfing it. Like you want to be the funniest person that night, you want to have the best jokes, and it's a lot more competitive. And it's just it never had that same summer camp vibe of just kind of like, everybody coming together and we're all working really hard to have this one project be awesome.
Yeah, for me, my favorite part of comedy has never been being on stage doing comedy. It's like talking to people beforehand, or like hanging out in a green room, or just like being in a town and or place you're not normally from, just kind of fucking around for the afternoon before you got to go on stage and like maybe have a fresh five up front to fuck around with the audience with. But like, man, I don't know. I'm starting to lose it with stand up a little bit, mostly just because of the first moratorium on all live events, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like technically I have one. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it running though. Like I know people want it. I'll keep it going through this week. But then, like
week to week. See what happens.
But like when, if July things aren't getting better, I'm not going to keep doing this, like I'm going to fucking switch gears and do the things that I actually enjoy doing. Not that I don't enjoy my open mic, because those people are fucking like amazingly supportive and I like the business and the comics have all been showing up and doing great. But at the same time, like, there's nothing in it for me anymore, like...
Yeah, like if you're not growing and learning something with a project, it gets boring and it becomes work. And when you're doing something creative like that, it shouldn't be work. You should work hard at it, but it shouldn't feel like drudgery.
Yeah, it does help, like it's always a bright spot in my week once I get done with it. I'm like, well, that was fun, but like leading up to it, I'm just like, oh, fuck, I gotta go do more work again.
Yeah.
This last one, I wasn't giving up, but this last open mic that I did, I was so bummed out that I had to do it again. I was like, fuck, I used to just be able to do whatever I wanted every night, all the time. And now I'm back to doing this work for comics that like hopefully are going to be funny and hopefully not resent me for not being amazing at bringing them up. I don't know, but I was already just giving up. Like everyone's intros were just fucking me yelling nouns and verbs, and then I would just bring them up.
Yeah, that happened with me at the library. Like eventually it's just like, yeah, this is a job now to me. I'm not really getting much out of it. It's not fun. And I'm just I'm putting, like, I was still kind of trying, but it wasn't like, I wasn't putting in my best effort anymore.
Yeah.
It was just clocking in and getting it done.
Yeah, and I want to be able to like not only be my best when I'm on that stage, but I want to be able to provide an environment that just produces good comedy. Like, and I don't feel like I'm doing that right now. I feel like it's, and maybe it's the stage at not being exactly for the comics we have, because like all the comics we have are all, like would be fine if they went to the Comedy Store. Like they're like real, like they care about the craft of telling jokes comedians. It's not what I'm about. And it's not what, like historically, that's not what comic book stores are for. Like we come here to escape you people. I don't like it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But apparently it's still great and everyone likes it, which sucks. And I feel like that happens to me a lot, with either the things I'm doing and or just me in general. Like I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling what's happening. And everyone's just like, oh, well, this is enjoyable and fun for me. And I'm like, fuck, I have to keep being me? This blows. If everyone would just quit fucking liking me and or the products I create, I could stop doing them so much.
Yeah.
But I can't.
Stop liking Bobby, everybody.
Yeah.
Assholes.
That's the thing, though. No one enjoys me enough for me to get paid about it. They enjoy me enough to siphon off my life force, which isn't fun sometimes.
Now, that's the other thing with comedy. Like, people seem very reluctant to pay for it. Like everybody kind of, they enjoy jokes and having a good time and everything, but they have trouble actually paying people to make them laugh. And yeah, that's kind of been one of the shitty things, is like just trying to find ways to make money off of it. And then like with the acting thing, like they just kind of started throwing money right away.
It's like, yeah, they'll pay you because it's a job you're doing surrounded by other people doing their jobs.
Like,
and
I didn't get paid a lot, but I got paid a decent amount for what I did.
Oh yeah, I mean, think about your first time doing comedy on a stage. No one was like, we should pay you for the service you just provided.
That's kind of the big difference between comedy and acting. Like I think, you're the one that kind of brought it up. It was like, nobody will just see you in the street and like, oh, I bet he has a tight 5. Like, he could go up and feature for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, with acting, that kind of happened to me. Like, I was just an extra and like, he looks like he could do this part.
Yeah.
And
I enjoy this person.
Yeah. And then I got the part. But like, anything I've gotten in stand-up has been clawing my way up, trying to, trying to, meet the right bookers or the right whoever to put me on a show, and had to perform well every single time. Like I remember a couple of times, like there were bar owners or like venue owners or whatever in town, who came to see a show to possibly have us, do shows there or book us to do a weekly or monthly show. And it was like, the show sucked that night. So we missed out on paying gigs just because we had an off night. And, I guess kind of the same thing can happen with acting, but I don't have the same sort of just like, jump that you can make with acting, where you just, someone sees you, like, you look right. All right. Now you're getting money for just basically being you. And with stand up, it's a lot more merit. I don't know.
Yeah, it's sometimes not even merit-based. It's really just like lucking out and or kissing the right person's dick plenty of times.
Yeah.
Not even just once. It has to be like over and over again.
And even then, sometimes, Wayne.
And even then, might not pay off after a few years. Yeah. So it's, look, you did 1 week on a film set and you have like 3 or 4 different leads of cool shit you could do after that.
Yeah.
When did you ever have such a good show you could do anything more than one more show?
Yeah, like
after that,
might invite me. Like, I want you to come down and perform at this biker bar down in Modesto. We can give you enough money for gas, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what a lot of those we really like your stuff and want you to perform on our show, but we can't really pay you anything for it. Like, I've lost a lot of money traveling to do shows and out of town gigs and everything like that, or even just in town shows, trying to set up shows and everything, produce shows in town. Like, most everything I've lost money on. But I do this one acting thing. And even when I was an extra, I got a meal out of it. It's more than a drink ticket.
Yeah, sometimes you can't even get a meal out of gigs that are set up in places specifically that serve food.
Yeah. This is like, it's been totally different. I don't want to like shit on comedy or anything, but I've been feeling a lot better and a lot more positive doing this acting stuff, and all the writing I've been doing as well. I've been going in a different direction, and I feel weird doing it, just breaking off like this, because I have, like, for the past 5 or 6 years, comedy has been my life. That's kind of like all I've been thinking about, all I've been working towards. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily want to do this anymore, because it's not bringing me joy. And Marie Kondo says I should get rid of that shit.
Yep.
And I think I stepped back in time for it not to just leave a bad taste in my mouth. I think I'll eventually get back to it. It's just, I need to take a break from it and do other shit that's been a lot more fulfilling.
Yeah, the thing about comedy is it changes so little, especially over the last 3 decades. It changes so little. You can leave for any amount of time and come back. And sure, you might be a little rusty on your delivery, but it's the fucking same. All the shit's exactly the same.
Yeah, you still have the same beats and everything. There's still the same expectations from the audience that you can meet.
Still the same amount of not getting paid.
Yeah. You can still, you can jump back on that horse and, get up to speed, in, I'd say, a month.
Yeah. Like, if you just hit 3 mics a week for a few weeks, there you go. You're back up in fighting shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Comedy. Boy, this podcast has become so anti-comedy, mostly because of me. And it's not anti-comedy, but it's just like, I don't care about being funny anymore. I used to.
Yeah.
Until I met more people that are so into comedy as like a quote-unquote art form that I'm like, oh, they don't care about like actual art. They care about like mockery or just like all the worst parts of comedy.
Yeah. I think, people who are too focused on, like, if comedy is your entire life, eventually it's just going to be a circle jerk of making comedy about comedy, and it's just self-referential humor. Like, you need to go out there and live your life, and it's supposed to be a reflection of everyday life. I think is the best comedy when people are actually talking about things that exist. And I'm trying to remember the comic that actually talked about that, how you shouldn't be a road dog who spends his entire life on the road, because eventually you'll only talk about the road and doing comedy. And most people aren't on the road doing comedy. So it's just going to be funny for other comedy fans. And like, you'll be a comic, great. But you're supposed to kind of be able to talk about and find the funny points of everyday life.
Yeah, I think with people.
Yeah, and just be able to bring that to the masses, to the average person, and find it and make it funnier and interesting for them. So that's why you should still be a part of the regular life. Maybe not still hold down a regular 9-to-5 job unless you absolutely have to, but I don't recommend it because it sucks.
Yeah.
But I still just, doing shit with your kids or your family or whatever, like participating in volunteer activities, being a part of the regular world so that you can talk about the regular world and not just, be blowing each other about your, dumb comedy bits.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Like, I think what officially got me was last week. I wasn't feeling the open mic, and one of my new comics, like, not to shit on him, he's brand new at comedy, but also it was just like I feel like he's learned what comedy is from comedy. And so the way he started a bit was, heart surgery is weird, because he had it. And I'm like, that's such a comedian thing to do.
Yeah.
Is downplay this fucking insane story you have to fit within the bubble that is observational humor. And it just got me to have like, heart surgery is weird. Sure is, bud. Good work.
It's not something that happens every day.
It was like, I even said it after I got on stage after. I'm like, only somebody who was either deeply damaged by heart surgery and or comedy would say the phrase, heart surgery is weird. I was like, yeah, it is. Tell us more about it. Oh, fuck. Yeah, man, fucking comedy. I don't know. I'm just trying to, like, I'd like to say I'm just trying to live my life, but I'm not even doing that well right now. Like, I've just been getting too high. I had 3 types of cheesecake yesterday.
Damn.
And I need to slow the fuck down, because I also ate an entire loaf of bread. So, like...
Before or after the cheesecake?
I don't remember at this point. So, all I know is I woke up this morning and it was gone, and I know it was me because I've been farting nonstop. And that's only something that massive carb loads will do to me. So, I know that I need to do better, and I just keep not doing it.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just, like, not... the only drugs I'm letting myself have is the ones I'm prescribed and caffeine. And I'm just trying to, like, chill the fuck out. Because, boy, I'm just getting stuck in that loop where all the days look the same.
Yeah, it's easy to do, man.
Yeah.
Like, I've been trying to... I haven't really smoked in a while. But, like, every now and again, I'm just like, I need to get drunk. And, like, I'll drink, and then, like, for the next 2 days, I'm like, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, you're like, I feel sad because I have intaken this depressant, and I know it's not sadness from me, it's sadness from poisoning myself.
Yeah. I think, God, what is it? I think, it was the day or 2 after filming Wrapped. And I just, like, had a bottle of whiskey and just watched a bunch of Netflix. And then after I finished that, I'm like, yeah, I need to, like, do things, because I just spent 7 days doing a lot of fun shit, and I can't, I just want to find a way to do that shit again as soon as possible, and I can't do that if I'm just sitting in my room watching Netflix getting drunk. So I just kind of I've been going for walks every day, like have like a little exercise routine, trying to eat healthier again, and just write and work on shit every day, just to kind of, I don't break up the day, so I'm not just fucking sitting. I'm sitting in my room most of the time, but like I'm just, kind of a lot of times it feels like I'm just locked myself in there, but like I'm working on shit.
Yeah, you're working on stuff, but because that's where your recreational work, your regular work, and your relaxation all is.
Yeah,
and that's what sucks.
Yeah, like
I
I'm
get that.
Just kind of stuck. Yeah, like I'll get done with work, and then I'll power down my work computer, then power up my laptop, and start writing and working on some shit. And then I'll power that down and turn on my PlayStation so I can watch Netflix while I ride my stationary bike for a while or do some kettlebells or whatever. And then I'll go out and walk for like an hour and a half.
Clear your thoughts. See the outside world for a second.
And it's so fucking great to get out and just go for a fucking walk. Even though like, I go to the same place pretty much every single day, it's still nice. Just like, yeah.
See the clouds. Know that the sky is still there. Yeah, I took Frodo for a walk around the marina the other day. That's the small dog, friends listening. But yeah, it was so nice to just kind of get out there and be like, oh, fuck, things are alive. This is dank. Because, yeah, I've been Groundhog Daying myself, and I really gotta, talking about that idea of just like, yeah, sometimes you do need to just like not be getting intoxicated all the time, and because then you realize like, oh, I could have been doing the things I enjoy or working towards more things for myself if I didn't do this. West said it to me a while back, and I thought he was just like being a dick because he was frustrated about stuff, and maybe he was. But the more I think about it, his advice was right, and it was the people that are successful in our scene, no matter what it is, aren't sitting here drinking every weekend.
Yeah,
he's like you. He's like everyone in this comedy scene and every other thing that I see. They talk a bunch of game. They say a bunch of shit, mostly sitting at this bar, and then they do nothing. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, fuck you. I was like, I'm here for your open mic. Don't tell me this. And then I was like, yeah. The more I think about it, I'm like, yeah. If I was trying to be my best self, I wouldn't be here right now, fucking trying to use up my drink tickets before failing at jokes that I didn't write until just now. Yeah. I would be at home, either writing something good for next week or writing anything else or doing something more valuable with my time, anything that I would actually see value in. So yeah, I have not been going to any of the open mics. Instead, I've been, like making music or just like having actual leisure time. Like I started getting into video games again so I could actually like absorb stories made by other people somehow.
I can't wait to play fucking Last of Us 2.
It was really fucking good.
Did you finish it?
I finished it.
I hear the ending is fucking devastating.
There's so much. Like I thought it ended 3 different times and it kept going. There was like 3 extra hours on top of when I thought it ended.
I told myself I can't download it and play it until I finish this novel that I'm working on. And who knows when the fuck that'll happen.
Just let yourself do it.
No, I think I'm actually making progress and working on it.
Well, don't do it yet.
So I'm just setting that goal for me. It might take me a while to actually get there, but it's still like when I saw that it dropped, I saw an Instagram post about it, I'm like, fuck! Yeah. I fucking love the original so fucking much, and I want to see what happens. Like even seeing you playing it, like I don't want any spoilers. Even that snowball thing, I'm like, I wish I would have discovered
that was right at the beginning of the game. You're totally fine.
No, but I kind of wanted to stumble across all this stuff. Like I'll come out for my hole and like to get food or water or whatever like that. And like you're playing, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, don't look.
Don't. Just keep focused, Nick.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was out so soon, but as soon as I saw, I was watching the Funhouse videos, and I saw that they had dropped the Last of Us 2 thing. I was like, oh shit! I didn't even watch it. Everything. I just went and immediately bought it on PlayStation. I was like, it's fucking out. Yeah, and it only took like a week and a half out of my life. I was able to beat it, and I wasn't playing it for hours every day. I think altogether I got a good 12 to 14 hours out of it. It was solid. I really liked it.
It's like it's solid gameplay and solid story and everything like that.
Yeah. You're gonna enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many parts that I was. It didn't devastate me as much as the first one, in general, but there were plenty of amazingly emotional parts that maybe didn't relate to me as hard, but were pretty much exactly like mirroring the first one in different lenses, let's say. So there's so many great parts, and you get to murder so many people. It's so wonderful. Yeah.
What are you playing now that you finished Last of Us 2?
They were giving out Battlefront 2 for free on the PlayStation Network, so I got that. And so I've been playing some Star Wars. I've never been much of a Star Wars person, but I'm back into it. Like, I know the lore well enough to know, like, it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
But I get it. I watched the last movie finally on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, boy, did they shit the bed hard on that trilogy. But you know what? It was all right, I guess. It was so.
I don't know. I was entertained by it. Like, I'm
get
not
it.
super into Star Wars. It's just like yeah, it was a movie. It was fun. Like, it was just, I don't get the whole.
Oh yeah, like. As far as Star Wars goes, like, it's always been for children, young adults. So, like, of course, all of the, the politics of it and the lore and everything is going to be very, like, easily digestible. And they can't put too many characters in. So they gotta just start wrapping up characters back into each other so that you can understand that, sometimes evil is through lineages even if they're not understood, and that evil can be inherited, but it can also be broken.
I didn't really like that one part where Rey pulls a spaceship out of the sky and crushes it and just makes it blow up. Like, that was fucking, that was neat.
I like that power exists in the world.
Why does it have to be in a woman, though?
Yes.
Is that what we're going to say, Bobby?
Exactly.
Fuck you, Bobby.
The one thing that I know to be certain, it's that women are weaker than men in every measurable way ever.
Even midichlorians.
Yeah, even in midichlorians. And so what we need to realize is that even if she's a Palpatine, spoilers. Spoilers.
No, fuck, anybody who cares about it is already.
It's been like a year and a half since it came out. I watched it for free, so you should be able to. Either way, that movie. I had nothing invested, so it was fun for me. But I was still like, every time they would do something, I was like, what? Come on. More than I did with Solo. When I watched that movie, I was like, wow. They are reaching, because
I don't even remember that. I saw it, but I saw it super high.
Yeah, basically any character you could inject into that timeline they did, and any inconsistencies from the from the original trilogy were buttoned up so nicely by that movie.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, they're doing it. That's fine. I'm just gonna wait for the Kenobi movie, mostly just because I want to see Ewan McGregor, and that's it.
I still need to watch Mandalorian.
I never finished it. Got like 3 episodes in, and then I watched the final episode silent, like just through subtitles at Coffee and Comics one night, and I was like, I get it. I don't need more. Fuck. Yeah, but I'm getting into Star Wars stuff. The thing that Last of Us 2 stopped me from completing is a project I'm still working on, and that's just doing covers of the freecreditreport.com jingles. And I have all the instrumentals laid out for the ones that I feel like covering. Yeah. I just need to go record vocals at the fucking at my practice space, which involves leaving the house, which is why I'm like, it's not necessary to do right now. But I'm still like, it would be funny to at least complete them, because I thought it'd be funny to get 4 or 5 of them done and then press some to 7-inch vinyls just to have. Maybe sell them for like way too much to people, because it would make me laugh to just have, like, most likely illegal to sell because it's commercial jingles, so like they're obviously owned by somebody, but just selling it on vinyl, a medium,
$50.
they're not even available to like listen to, so you have to like go watch an old YouTube video. So that's what I did in order to copy all the instrumentals, and so now I want to put all of that into the internet so that people can listen to the freecreditreport.com jingles that I like whenever they want. And I don't think it's a bad thing. But then that also opened me up to the idea of covering other commercials that I love, and there's only a few of them, mostly being the what is it, Education Connection song that girl does. It's really terrible, and it's really only for me.
Isn't that the one that has like a little rap in it? In the
no, not really, but it is kind of rappy. It's mostly just bad singing. Whatever you would call Kesha without singing, that's what that is. You know, like just like girl talking. Bratty girl talking. Is that... Have I layered enough layers of misogyny into the show yet? I feel like there's not enough. Kesha is just lady girl talking. That's redundant. Lady girl talking? Lady girl is either redundant or like a slur. Like someone's like, "Oh, she's one of them lady girls."
Well, they have lady boys. So
Yeah.
She's a
They have lady
girl.
girls. It's just like, what would a lady girl be? Like somebody who transitioned once.
And went back.
Like they actually got all the surgeries to transition once, and then they were like, "Nah, never mind." So now they're trans to their original.
Double trans.
Yeah, like is that a thing? Like I know that there's people that have regretted their gender reassignment surgeries, or whatever the proper vernacular is. It's no longer gender reassignment, but it's like corrective.
Hey, can they go back? Like, I think if a lady becomes a man, can they just like...
I think they can reinvert it, but they can't like put your uterus back in. They just melon ball all that shit out of there, I'm pretty sure.
Just melon ball out the ovaries?
Just melon ball it out.
Yeah.
Uterus, melon balled. Both them ovaries, melon balled. Cervix, melon balled.
That's definitely a budget doctor right there.
Yeah, he's got a very sharp melon baller and a will to work. You know, and that's all you need. That's all you need in America, guys, is a will to work and ovaries to scoop. You know, that's what we believe here on the Petri dish.
God bless America.
Scoop out your ovaries. Have a good time. Fucking Christ. Let's see. I've been thinking a lot about zombie scenarios lately, mostly because of The Last of Us, and now I'm playing the last Walking Dead Telltale game. Because I haven't been emotionally ready to play the Telltale Games Walking Dead thing yet, because I've been playing the game since like 2012 or whatever. So like, it's finally over, and I'm like, big breath, let's end it. But I think this is the fourth or fifth game in the installment. It's the last one, and now I'm like, okay, zombies are on the brain. Like, if suddenly people were like, coronavirus is now like merging with the cordyceps like it does in Last of Us, and now we have a highly contagious brain controlling, turning people into zombies. What three things are you going to take out of the house before you just fuck off like into the desert or into the mountains?
My Winchester.
Nice.
I got to take that. Can I lump that in, the bullets in with the...
Yeah. I'd say bullets and ammunition can go into one.
All right. I think my duffel bag filled with my outdoor gear.
Nice.
I have a lot of that shit.
That's right, Patagonia life.
Yeah, I have all that expensive Patagonia shit that I got super cheap. Then probably my stockpile of lentils.
Solid choice. Yeah, it was tough. Like, if I had to pick three things, I was like, I have 3 guns. Do I just say fuck it, pick all those, and just start robbing people right away for necessities before I leave? Or do I just pick one gun? Because I thought, like, 9mm for people. Like, if I'm going to do hunting, I'll just do traps and shit. Like, make little snares for small animals. But I'm also like, I can eat too much. So one squirrel. Yeah, one squirrel, not enough. I need, like, 3 jackrabbits. Get protein poisoning. But I figured, like, okay, I'd take the 9mm, you know, like 200 rounds of ammunition, I think, in one box. I'd take that with me. And then maybe, like, a multi-tool.
Yeah.
Multi-tool with a sharp knife on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, I don't know, maybe maybe one of the cast irons, either the crock pot or the big 22-inch cast iron, but just something to have meals in. And I think I was like, those are the three things. Like 9mm for the people, multi-tool to make other tools within the wild, and then something to cook it all in that's going to last and or be used as a weapon.
So do you think you'd bug out into the desert, or you try to hold down the fort and defend this house?
I would hold on to this area as long as possible. And then if I had to, I'd probably just drive north into the valleys before eventually probably just fucking off into the trees a little bit, like NorCal area. Yeah. But yeah, I would stay here as long as I could. But I'm assuming like apocalypse outbreak style, National Guard's going to get called in to start quarantining people bad style. And then I don't want to get caught in that. So I'm just going to bug out to the northern areas.
I kind of think a lot of people would start heading up to like Tahoe and Washoe and all that.
That's not where I'm going. Especially with the amount of like rich entitled white people up there.
Yeah.
They would immediately start murdering each other over fucking nothing. So I am steering clear.
Like that one couple. You've seen those pictures?
Yeah. Like the pink shirt, the racist little teapot. Yeah. Fucking... I ain't dealing with those. Like, I'll give it 3 months. Those people will all most likely murder each other.
Yeah, they'll wipe each other out pretty goddamn quickly.
Yeah, I feel like I could hunker down here for a good month. I could, head up north, maybe find a little abandoned farmstead, or maybe a nice farmstead. The person will be like, "Oh, you can work with me, and we'll make stuff happen." Until that falls through, I'll just keep doing that. But yeah, no, I'd steer clear. I would not go up to Tahoe. Fuck that.
Yeah. I know a lot of people will think like, well, there's water here. There's animals around or hunting. Like, no, it'll just get overcrowded, and people start tearing each other apart.
And then eventually someone's going to get the bright idea to poison all the water so that no one else can have it. And I'm like, that's kind of a metaphor for how society goes around here anyway. All right, cool. Poison the well. Then everyone can die. Ugh.
Yeah, I might try to just go out in the middle of the desert somewhere, but try to find some sort of body of water. Like just, somewhere where the river's just kind of running through it, and try to find a spot nearby where I can get some water and try to boil it or whatever, try to make it palatable. Potable, that's what it is for water. And and just try to scrounge off of the desert.
I like that.
I don't think a lot of people will actually try to live out in the desert.
Oh yeah, no, because the first thing that gets you is exposure.
Yeah.
Like that's the number one way people die in the quote unquote wild, no matter what.
With my outdoor gear, all my UPF sun protection gear.
Yeah, and if you just dig a proper hole. I mean, half of survival is just dig a big enough hole. Like 100%. All the YouTube videos I've watched so far is just like, all right, dig a hole. Dig a hole inside that hole for you to shit in so you're not walking around in your own shit. Make some walls that can actually hold. Shade yourself inside the hole. The end. You're done.
Yeah, if you're stuck out in the frozen tundra... dig a hole.
Dig a hole.
And then, I think it's
warm.
Yeah, then dig another hole for like a cold sink so that it's a little bit warmer where you are.
Yeah. Number one rule is dig a hole.
The power of holes.
I really got to get better at digging holes. I'm not as good as I should be.
I gave myself a blister digging hole.
Yeah.
Of course, the Nevada desert isn't the best hole digging material.
Yeah, it's a little rough. And digging around in the backyard, I was having a hell of a time trying to move that hard earth. I don't know if it's quite clay or something, but it's
more of a pickaxe than anything.
Yeah, it's a horde.
Bring it up a little.
It's fucking a horde, guys. Manual labor is hard. How come no one told me? How come no one told me working with your hands is hard? I bought woodworking tools so I can do little woodworking crafts. I'm trying to find one more apocalypse skill because I got bread making down pretty decent. So now I want an actual skill. Not the bread bakering. Bread bakering. Not the bread bakering is not a skill. But it's it's not useful. It's not useful to anybody.
If you like to eat, I think it's
if you like
skill.
But no matter what, baking bread, you have to have a society in order to have a baker.
Yeah.
You don't need a society if you want to do like woodworking. You do need society for electrical stuff, but it's a great advancement in that society to have electrical stuff. So I was also thinking about having like electrical skills, a little bit of them, but I don't have them yet because instead going down the woodworking path for now. We'll see. I'll let everyone check back in on my apocalypse skills. I encourage everyone to pick up a new apocalypse skill. Woodworking, gardening, bread making, something. Pick up, I mean, even if they're useless, because we still technically have society, it's at least fun to pass the time. I spent the last week making various kinds of breads. I've been trying to perfect my sourdough sandwich bread, and I'm getting pretty fucking close. So yeah, guys, pick up an apocalypse skill. You got any apocalypse skills you've been working on, Nick?
I like other, if people want me to write them shit, I can do that, or like make a little play for them, do some theater.
You're sticking with
like,
society stuff.
Yeah, like if they need a creative person to keep people entertained, I think I could be their guy. Other than that, I'm pretty sure I'm convinced that if the apocalypse actually happens, I'm going down pretty quickly. But I found that I'm a pretty good shot, like with my Winchester. So yeah, if people want me to like hunt and all that, or just shoot people, I could.
There you go.
I could do that. But yeah, I don't know. Like I kind of know how to build stuff from doing theater things, like set builds and everything. Like I can build, a decent flat, so I can put boards together and construct something. But yeah, I'm not like super advanced in anything really.
Yeah, I'd say you get to stick around. It's always one of my favorite things, one of my favorite tropes in any like apocalyptic and or zombie thing is like the one or two people that are dedicated to preserving everyone's humanity, whether they be some sort of like philosopher or musician or just like theatrical, so they like do little readings and do little fun drama things for people, like
just keep people sane.
Yeah, it's like you can only do so much killing and surviving before you need to just like take a second and remember what it is to be human, which is the ability to have leisure at all.
Oh,
or art.
Like I did martial arts. I got my black belt in Taekwondo when I was 13 and did some jiu-jitsu for a couple of years.
I think you mean you are a black belt in Taekwondo.
Yeah. So I could kind of fight.
There you go.
I've never really had to be in a real fight, but
you've recently choked a guy.
Did I tell you that I had to choke him for real? Yeah.
You didn't tell the wonderful listeners that you had to like legit.
Yeah, like we did a bunch of takes where just my hands were like on his collarbone. I was more resting on his collarbone. But then, yeah, they're like, the director of photography came and was like, would you be okay with choking him for real? Like, would he be okay with me choking him? Like, yeah, I'm going to ask him next. I just wanted to see if you're cool. Like, well, ask him. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I can be fine, but he's the one getting the violence happened to.
He was all for it.
Hell yeah.
He was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. He wanted to do even more, like me, like shoving him through the drywall. And the director who owns the house where we were shooting, and she was all for that too. But we're like, we could only do it once.
Yeah, like, and then there's a fucking hole in the wall.
Yeah, and then we're also filming some other scenes that would be a little incongruent with a hole suddenly being there. So we nixed that, but yeah, he's like, yeah, you can go ahead. And we practice how I'm supposed to choke him safely, like nothing on pressure on the windpipe, just the pressing on the arteries. And we had a safety guy setting up next to me, like if you see him go limp, pull me off. All this, we had tapping if things started going wrong. We were supposed to have a paramedic on set that day for the fight scene, but they couldn't make it because of all the COVID shit. Yep. And on the riots and everything. I forgot that was another.
Yeah, the riots were happening that week. You were filming.
Fun part of it. Yeah, like I didn't know if I was going to be able to make. A bunch of us thought like we're just going to have to sleep at the house.
Yeah, because curfews started happening that week.
Yeah, so I just had to I went all the way around Reno pretty much, like along McCarran. To avoid anything, and but yeah, I just had to choke a guy like 3 times. Like the first time I did it, he's like, "Yeah, you're not choking me hard enough." I'm like, all right, so
yes, Daddy.
So I did it again, and then they wanted to do it a third time, where he was like, really went at it, and yeah, he gave me a warning, like, yeah, if I black out, get off of me and run away, because if I wake up from that, I'm just going to wake up swinging until I realize what's going on. And it's going to take me like 3-4 seconds to recalibrate and know what's going on. So if I see you after that, I'm going to hit you as hard as I can. So we didn't get to that point, luckily.
That's good.
But it was like, he said like, yeah, like after that last take, like 1 or 2 more seconds, and yeah, I would have passed out. And it was fucking terrifying for me. Like,
Someone's life was in your hands.
Like, I'm honestly not like I'm not a violent person. Like, I'm pretty, opposite of violent, pretty peaceful, more of a pacifist. But like, yeah, if I need to be violent, I can. And, but yeah, it was also weird because they were trying to like, I was still trying to stay in that headset of like, I'm fucking white hot raging mad, trying to murder this guy with my bare hands. And like, they're trying to joke around with me in between takes. And it was like, the guy was choking. He's like, I don't know how many more times we can do this, because you keep falling more and more into this 1,000-yard stare. Like, yeah, I'm just trying to like stay.
Yeah, you're like,
stay into this mindset. Like,
I'm method.
Like, not even method, just
Trying to act correctly.
Just trying to act correctly for the scene. Like, as soon as the scene was over, like, I had to go for a little walk, because I was just in that space of like, I just murdered this person, and the character is supposed to be broken up about it. Like, he has daddy issues and all this stuff where his dad beat him as a kid, but then when he was 13, he took a baseball bat and kicked the shit out of his dad. And that's when the abuse came to light, and then he had to go live in foster care for a while until he turned 18. Then he just was living on his own, doing crappy jobs until Natasha rolls around and saves him from trying to kill himself. And then they go on their fun little killing spree and everything. So he's kind of flashing back to murdering his father. He kind of has that sort of like just white hot rage again that's rolling through him, that just kind of snaps into him all of a sudden. And he starts choking this guy, and then after he's seen that he's killed this guy with his bare hands, he's like, what the fuck have I done? Because the character's not all that violent. He's still kind of like a lovable teddy bear kind of guy. And then who just becomes this insane grizzly bear monster, and he kind of terrifies himself with that. And so I was supposed to kind of have both those things going on at the same time, and it was just kind of like...
exhausting.
Yeah, doing that for 2 hours. It was fucking exhausting, and just after I thought we were done. They're like, okay, we want to do one more take with a close up on you. I'm like, fuck, I don't know. All right.
And like, I just decompressed.
Yeah. I thought I was done and just had to like immediately get back into it. And that's when with Dan, the guy I was choking, is like, yeah, you're getting like this weird look going on. I'm like, I know, like I'm
fucking freaking out because I've been choking a guy for 2 hours.
Pretty much. Like, I've been having to choke someone and be sad about it for 2 hours. And just afterwards, I just had to walk around by myself in the backyard to try to get myself back to normal again, and just trying to joke around with people. But it's fucking weird. Okay, like comedy and theater and everything like that, like you work really intensely for like, 5 minutes to an hour and a half, like kind of depending on the show you're doing and everything. Mm-hmm. But then that's it, and you go home. Like with the film shoot, it was 12 hours. It was like running a fucking marathon, and just having to jump in and out of character constantly. And it was fucking exhausting, but so much fucking fun. I fucking loved it so much. It was great.
Hell yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all the plugs, though, isn't it? Go watch No Virtue whenever it comes out.
Yeah, right now there's a trailer up on YouTube. I'm not sure exactly when they'll start releasing episodes or where exactly they'll be released. I'm guessing probably just on YouTube or whatever. I think they're still looking for a distributor, but I don't. That's not in my wheelhouse. I kind of did what I.
Yeah, you already did your job. Now it's just up to the other people whose jobs it is to make more of it happen.
Yeah, when we were wrapping, and I asked the director of photography, like, so what happens now? And like, well, for you, you're done. You go home. We do everything else. All right, well, if you need me, I can help.
I'll be PA for a second.
So no, yeah, if you need me to edit or like do like promo or like just want me to make a trailer or anything, it's like, no, just you've done your shit. So yeah, it's coming out at some point. Yeah, the short film thing that I'm making this Friday. It'll probably come out at some point in July. But yeah, we're talking about trying to submit it to some film festivals. So I'll have a viewing party at some point, I think. But like having it actually up on YouTube or Vimeo or whatever, it'll probably be a while before that's up. The Reno Little Theater What a Difference project that they're doing my little play. It's July 25th, I think at 7:30, but you can still watch it afterwards on their YouTube channel, Ghostlight TV. Then other than that, I think that's all I have like really scheduled right now. And you can check out all this, get updates on my social media.
There you go.
On Twitter, I'm at Nick Josten. If you want to add me on Facebook, I'm Nick Josten. And then on Instagram, I'm just_Nick_Josten. And yeah, follow me on all those, and you can get updates on all the stupid shit that I'm doing.
Hell yeah. Guys, go watch Nick's stuff whenever it's out. Go follow him. Figure it out. I liked the trailer for No Virtue just because it's like 4 different takes of you just saying shit.
Yeah, I say shit every other page. I think I say it 20 times.
So it's your catchphrase now. It's going to end up being your catchphrase.
And I have started saying shit a lot more since filming that.
Hell yeah. So go check out Nick's new catchphrase.
Shit.
Make him say it in real life when you see him. It's fun. Other than that, show up to Coffee and Comics every Tuesday for the foreseeable future. Keep listening to this podcast if you want. I don't care at this point. I do this so that I have markers within my life to know that I did a thing sometimes. Keep an eye out for a 7-inch vinyl of me covering freecreditreport.com commercial jingles. It's not going to happen, but if it happens,
it might.
Fuck. It comes down to like that idea I had of putting my face on billboards for no reason. Like, how funny is it versus how much does it cost? Does the money I spend contribute to the amount that makes it funny? Because sometimes it is funnier to spend ungodly amounts of money on the dumbest shit possible.
$1,000 on a stupid billboard.
Yeah. So, like, it would have been funny to spend a few thousand on a giant billboard. Didn't do it because it just wasn't quite funny enough. But
I would have found it hilarious.
But the amount of work it takes for me to learn songs that no one has anywhere from my past that are commercial jingles and then recreate them in their entirety myself and then get it pressed onto vinyl records to immortalize them forever is so funny to me, because I don't have any other things of mine on vinyl. If that was the first thing I pressed to vinyl, was me covering freecreditreport.com jingles,
there are hipsters out there who would buy that just for the irony.
Yeah, and so I think it might be funny enough, guys. It might be funny enough for me to do, so I might do it. So keep an eye out for that. Other than that, I'm done talking. Bye, everybody.
Bye.